The Bluetooth device is ready to pair.
Hello guys, I'm coming back. This is your content creator,
Is connected successfully.
and your social media influencer in terms of science, health, music, and safety. So I'm coming back from another topic, which is triglycerides. And this topic is very enjoyable. But before we go further for the details of these triglycerides, okay, let me introduce to you the basic, raw material of triglyceride. Without this substance, there will be no triglycerides. What's that? Okay? So, this gonna be very natural inside our body. Okay. We need to discuss this because this is really a precursor to produce triglycerides. Precursor meaning ingredient, raw material, component. Okay? That's the meaning of precursor. Or especially if, for example, if you take a subject, major subject, this one is a prerequisite before you take that one. It's still the same also meaning like that, huh? Prerequisite meaning very important. You cannot go to that subject if you will not take first this subject. This substance is like that. Before getting the triglyceride, before forming the triglycerides, you cannot do that without this substance. What's that? Okay. Anybody? Class? Okay. Okay. So this is the trihydroxy. Sorry, it's too chemical in nature as trihydroxy. Okay, sugar alcohol. Wow, I love that. So tell me why the alcohol become a sugar? When the sugar become an alcohol? Okay, so it looks like confusing and skeptical. So I think you will be perplexed, and then you will be bewildered for the gray area of this topic. But let's explain this gradually for further understanding. So like that. So sugar meaning sugar molecule, and then alcohol molecule. So meaning to say this is hybrid. It undergoes hybridization process. Can act as a sugar, can act as an alcohol, but mainly the dominant function will be as a sugar. Okay, but the structural formula appearance will be in the form of alcohol. Okay, because this is trihydroxy sugar alcohol and this is meaning triol or polyol. Meaning to say all is representing OH, the hydroxyl group. Okay? Then triol meaning three hydroxyl groups attached to that particular sugar. Poly meaning since that is more than one, that is tri, that's why polyol. Triol is under polyol because tri is more than two. Anything more than two is called poly. That's why polyol. You get the point? So the technique here is the word all. So for example, I have methanol. Okay, there's an all, right? Okay. Estradiol. There's also an all. Okay, you get the point? Sterol. There's also an all. Cholesterol, there's an OL. Okay, methanol, there's an OL. Ethanol, there's an OL. Propanol, there's an... So have you noticed there's an OL? So these are all under polyol. Generally, substance. Polyol, substance. Now, these polyol substances are doing hybridization process wherein it can add several substances simultaneously, one over the other. For example, if I would say methanol, okay, so specific alcohol. Okay, ethanol, specific alcohol. But if you say sterol, can act as a steroid, can act as an alcohol. Things like that. You get the point? Cholesterol can act as a steroid, a hormone, and the form is an alcohol. Things like that. Okay, sometimes only the form, but not act as an alcohol. But there's an OH attachment. Still OL. You get the point? But in here, sugar alcohol is acting both as a sugar and alcohol. Get the point? So this is the technique by putting OL. There's always OH attachment on that substance. You get the point? Things like that. Okay? So if you found substances in the books that has OL, that is under polyol substance. Okay? So that could either act as a substance, as a steroid, for example, as an alcohol, as a sugar. Meaning there's no specific, behavior. Of course, normally they are not specific because they will be used as a precursors to synthesize other macromolecules, other molecules like that, things like, you get the point? Ganon. Okay. So there's also sugar also that act as an alcohol. Okay, apart from that, and this, okay? Okay, get the point. Napailain, but it's not only sugar alcohol. Get the point. The sugar alcohol is a general term, but there are a lot of sugar alcohols used in food and beverage industry, replacing the sucrose sugar, the white sugar, because of the issue of obesity, weight gain, high blood pressure, and the blood pressure will spike. That's why they change, they replace that with sugar alcohol substances like, for example, sorbitol, xylitol, lactitol, mannitol, isomalt, like that. You get the point? Or hydrogenated. Okay, hydrogenated starch hydrosylates. Ganon. Okay, galactitol. See, there's also OL because sugar alcohol. So, you get the point? So, just remember the OL, it's not can act both sometimes and sometimes can act specific. So all you have to do is to understand and to read a lot about that. It's not memorization because sometimes memorization fail. You get the point? Things like that. Okay. Now, sugar alcohol. So this is what we mean of sama ng OL na commonly not understood. So it's the glycerol. Okay. Your level of triglycerides will become high if the level of your glycerol is very high. Because this is the raw material in the manufacture of triglycerides. So, how can we obtain glycerol? You get the point? Or how can we obtain this? This is present. Okay, this is really present in the fatty acids. You get the point? Things like that. Okay, so what's the formula of glycerol? So, C3H5OH3. See, trihydroxy. So, 3OH. Okay? Close and open parenthesis, 3. Because trihydroxy. Okay? Sugar alcohol. Now, this one is our raw material, right? Okay, so let's do the chemical reaction. Okay? Again, sugar alcohol is very important because this is the natural alcohol for human survival. Okay, because ethyl alcohol is an intake alcohol from fermented beverage or whatever substances that you put into your mouth. But the natural alcohol is the glycerol. Okay, comes from the sugar. Okay, but the sugar is healthy, not the bad one. Not the sucrose, not the fructose like that, or not the glucose. Sugar alcohol, it's not quite familiar, right? Because this is more on biochemistry. Organic chemistry blended with biochemistry. Okay, so sugar alcohol like this, see, for example, sugar alcohol. So let's do the production of triglycerides, right? Okay, so this is gonna be your chemical reaction. Your reactant will be, okay, so we have the fatty acids. Okay, so glycerol, one component of glycerol plus 3 fatty acids. Okay. So, if you keep on eating fats or meat or oily substances, your glycerol will be higher. That's why you have higher triglycerides. Okay? Because without eating kasi, glycerol plus fatty acids. So normally, if fatty acids will be higher, the glycerol also will be higher. Then, you can produce a higher triglycerides. Get the point? Ganon. Okay. Now the product will be triglycerides. This is worded chemical reaction. Then after chemical reaction with formula so that we must turn ourselves with statements chemical reaction then converted to chemical reactions with formulas. Okay, we have here okay triglycerides. Okay, triglycerides. Okay, and then what is the addition for here? Okay, that is plus water. Okay, so meaning to say dehydration. Dehydration synthesis, removing water from this raw material. This dehydration synthesis chemical reaction. Okay, you get the point? So it's just like saying also as the neutralization reaction in reverse in organic chemistry. We have the acid. Our acid is the fatty acid because this is organic point of view. Then our glycerol is the base because anything that OH, sulfates, phosphates are also base. You get the point? So base plus acid is equal to salt plus water. Okay, that is neutralization reaction in organic chemistry. The same thing as saying here in analogy that our base here is in the form of an alcohol which is sugar alcohol glycerol because OH, phosphates, sulfates are all related to base. Okay, then fatty acids is our acid representation. Then our triglycerides will be our salt representation. Okay, but this is salt representation, but this is not salt anymore in biochemistry, organic chemistry. This is now esters. Okay, new terms equivalent to the salts in inorganic chemistry. That's why it ends with OATE. In organic chemistry, it ends in ATE only. But in organic chemistry, it will add an OATE. For example, in organic chemistry, sulfate, OATE, the last three-letter words. In organic chemistry, OATE, OET. See? You have to add O only. You get the point? So, for example, sodium benzoate, calcium methanoate, like that. Okay. Let's say potassium ethanoate, like that. That is a ester salt equivalent to inorganic chemistry. You get the point? So that's why plus water here is also the same as hydrolysis in analogy. You get the point? If you understand hydrolysis and neutralization reaction in organic chemistry, then you can understand also in biochemistry analogy or organic chemistry analogy. Because if you try to reverse this, it will become also a hydrolysis of the ester components. It's not a hydrolysis of salt anymore, but hydrolysis of ester components. So you will say, ester plus water, ganon, is equals to 1 glycerol. Bali na siya, reverse. You get the things like that. So, basic of chemical reactions goes like this. Okay, things like that. Now, this is word problem, worded statement chemical reaction. Now, let's go to the chemical formula. Let's say, general formula. We could not have the general formula because it's very difficult. We have 3 fatty acids. Okay, guys? 3 fatty acids. Your requirement of this 3 fatty acid at least 2, okay, have the unsaturated fats. And the one is saturated fat. Okay? You get the point sa fatty acid attachment sa atong glycerol. You get the point? Ganon. So glycerol, structural formula. Because general formula is very difficult here. Because 3 fatty acids, how can you make it as 1? Right? So 1 glycerol like this. Carbon, okay, like that. H, OH, OH. This is same thing as saying C3, 1, 2, 3, H5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, OH, 3, 1, 2, 3. Now, plus fatty acids, plus fatty acids plus fatty acid. Okay, things like that. You get the point? And then your triglyceride is very lengthy, long chain of fatty acids, then plus water. Okay, like that. So, it's very difficult to show. My whiteboard is very small, but it's why our very, very best. Sharish. Okay? Now, see, like that, see, I told you that there's an edge here. Edge here, so OH, H. This is the avenue or the outlet for the COOH of these fatty acids to react here. See? C double bond OOH, right? And this H here will be react to the OH of the carboxylic acid of the fatty acids. It will become H2O. That's why it will be transported to the product, the H2O. So what we left here is the O only. Here, O, and the acids. So it will become now C double bond O directly. Okay, and the rest of the alkyl group, or what is it trying to attach? So C double bond oxygen, C double bond oxygen, C double bond oxygen, C double bond oxygen, right? So it's in the carboxylic. Diba? Oh, ganon. And the rest will be C. A lot of carbons, I told you, fatty acids. C, like that. The important here will be here. Okay? Ganon. Now, after adding that one, so it will pollute esters. So, meaning to say, your triglycerides is an ester. Okay? You get the point. So, you will draw a line here, connected. After connection, the product will be here in your triglycerides. Okay? The tri here, meaning the three fatty acids attached to each hydroxyl group of your glycerol. You get the point? It's like that. Now, it looks like also a little bit of confusing because you say triglycerides, it's more on aldehyde, right? But the formula of aldehyde is RCOH. Okay, you get the point? But the aldehyde part is in here. On the right, on the left, is not an aldehyde. Okay? You get the point? Ganon. So, you get the point mo na sinitabo. Okay? So, mo na sinitabo sa atong attachment. Okay. Now guys, I don't have any more a clear marker, right, to represent this. I love to show you the exact or the clear chemical reactions, how to cut it and how to, but you know, see, my white ink is not really, okay, things like that. I will show you the one fatty acid attachment of the OH. So let's make it simpler, the smaller acid. Okay, because if you try to carbonating, which is too much, I have to write so many things, but the concept is just the same. For example, if the fatty acid we added is butyric acid, so it will be cut here, okay, like that. Okay, butyric acid, so 1, 2, 3, 4, C4H8 man siya. Okay, here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It will become C4H7 because the other H will be reacted to the H of the carbon OH of the glycerol. Okay. Now our second OH will be attached to, for example, ascorbic acid. Okay. Just to avoid that too much writing, Okay, so C. Okay. Double bond oxygen. So what is ascorbic acid formula? C6H8O6. So 6 carbon. This one. H. This is the second fatty acid. Okay? For the purpose of discussion. Because very lengthy. And now the last OH will be since requirement is the double band, so we don't have other choice. There's a double band, right? So it's gonna be the It's gonna be the oleic acid. Okay. Ano na itong oleic acid, guys? So, okay, ano to? Teng, teng, teng. Okay, pareho naman na siya. Like a zigzag. Pareho naman sabot niya. Kani siya, carbon, 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 carbon. 18 carbons. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. To save the space, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Okay, carbon mo na siya. Okay? And then mag-double band ka sa number 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So, dari-ari. Oleic acid. So, 3 fatty acids attached to our glycerol, and then it become our triglycerides. Okay, things like that. Okay, plus water. So, this is esterification reaction. The specific chemical reactions, esterification reaction, or we can say this as a dehydration synthesis. Okay. So it's very easy to memorize because you will produce an ester, which is a triglyceride. So esterification, dehydration synthesis, because you have to remove the water. So D, meaning removal of water. So hydrate, so dehydration. So synthesis. Synthesis because it's synthesized into a more complex triglycerides. It's not decomposition, it's synthesis, meaning building of a lot of molecules to become big. Decomposition is the breakdown of larger molecules into smaller molecules. So to use the word synthesis and decomposition. Okay, synthesis meaning build up of smaller molecules into big molecules so that it will become big. And triglycerides are so big, are too huge. Imagine the glycerol are combined with 3 fatty acids. That's why synthesis. And then dehydration, you remove the water. It's very easy, the common sense. Dehydration, synthesis. And here also esterification reaction, the same thing because you produce an ester called triglyceride. Right? So, but in an examination, for example, the board examination will say, which of the following is not an ester? Or which of the following is an ester? Then you don't know triglyceride is an ester because you remember this as an aldehyde because there's a word IDE. Okay? Okay, you will be tempted because of the patterning. That's why I told you, science is not always patterning. Patterning meaning you will only sequence, you do on the second and third, you also do to the another. Okay? It's not patterning, it's not mechanics, it's rules. Okay? The rules will really persist. Okay? You got the point? You got the point? Dominates. The rule will always prevail rather than sequencing, chronological, pattern, gaps, like that, things like that. In math, usually like that, right? Sequencing, patterning, gapping, orientation. The next will be like this, the next will be like this. Okay? You get the point? But in science, not. It should be by the rules of the, IOPAC. IOPAC. IOPAC is International Union for Pure Applied Chemistry. That's IOPAC. Okay? You get the point? Anak siya. So, ang answer nato is triglyceride. Ayun, glyceraldehyde. Glyceraldehyde. Meaning to say, an aldehyde of glycerol. Okay? So, you break the name of glyceraldehyde. So, there's an aldehyde and there's a glycerol. So, even though you will not look at the box, you will say, an aldehyde of glycerol. Or aldehyde plus glycerol. So, for example, on the spot, I don't put the formula because I don't memorize. So, by this, I can create a formula. So, aldehyde is this formula of aldehyde. So, C, double bond, oxygen, H, and this an R. Okay. Then, glycerol. So, meaning to say, C3H5OH. Right? So, 3 carbon. Okay. So, you need to add 3 carbon. Here. 3 carbon. Okay, enough. So, hydrogen 5. We have now hydrogen 5. 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Now, OH. Okay, because C3H5OH. This OH here. Like that. Okay. So, C3H5OH. So, how many imong OH ana niya? So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. O, 6 carbon. 1, 2, 3. O, ganon. O, diba? So, how many OH for that? O, 1. Things like that. Okay. So, this is the formula of your glyceraldehyde. This one. Okay? So, on the spot, I didn't memorize, right? Because I understand the general formula, and you attach there, and the rules will follow, like that, okay? So, you cannot put a lot of OH here, okay? Because it's not saying glycerol. I'm saying glyceraldehyde. I'm not saying glyceroldehyde. So, there's no meaning of putting 3OH. So, it will be glyceraldehyde, meaning an aldehyde plus glycerol. So, na-terminate ang OH na tulo ka buok. Okay? Muna siya nitabo. Ba? Ganon. Ano ba yung dali? So, ano ka? CH 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. O C3H5, ganon. Okay, and then CO rin siya, and then OH. C3H5COOH. Okay? Ganun kayo. Mamala siya yung alkyl group. Charat. Okay, dari alkyl group. Okay, dari. Okay, guys? Muna siya. Okay, any questions so far for this? Okay. Nothing, right? Now we go to the level of triglycerides level. Okay, when we will say that the triglycerides is harmful, bad, like that. So the level of triglycerides, okay, because the point is less than 150 milligrams per deciliter in our human body. Okay, less than 150 milligram deciliters. Okay. Now, borderline. So, 150 over 199. Okay. Now, high level. So, 200 over 499. 2499 and 500 up. Okay. 500 up is harmful and dangerous. It can cause disease. So, you have chronic disease, a heart attack, like that, obesity, whatever. Type 2 diabetes, cardiovascular diseases. So, if your triglyceride is more than 500 milligrams per deciliter. So, if the moment your triglycerides will touch here in 200 to 499, you should take extra careful already. Okay. In the borderline, it's still okay, but you need to do a little bit. But if it is 200 to 499, you need to take extra careful because bad and it will really goes up if you don't take control. If your that cholesterol, triglycerides will be here already. Okay, things like that. Okay, the World Health Organization or another record saying a simpler one. Okay, say less than 200. They adjust a little bit based on surveys of how many patients that undergoes like this, like Chubash. Like, okay, and then their borderline is 200, or di ba? Okay, 200 to 399. And their harmful will be 400 up. Okay? So, taas kayo siya boundary. Borderline 200 to 399, pasok pa sa banga. Okay? But more than 400, problem. But be careful also in reaching 200 to 399 because it's already boundary. Right? Okay, when you mean of less than, it should be touching the 200 because less than 200. Okay, that's why our range starts with 200. So 200 to 399, it's borderline high. So 400, very high, harmful. Here, less than 150. That's why we have 150 to 199, borderline, okay, acceptable. 200 to 499, so high. High already. Take extra caution. 500, harmful, dangerous. So you will be either heart attack or whatever. It's very strange to have 500. Okay? That's problem already. Abnormalities. Okay, normally it will not reach to 500 unless you are very too much diseases in your body. But we don't know if we really get the medical or physical test, right? So muna siya ang level sa triglyceride. Ganon. O diba? Okay? Ana siya mga palangga akong hitan. Okay? So any questions so far for this triglycerides level? Okay? Ganun. So, we need to adjust the fats and oils, right, in our food. Okay? Things like that. And also, sugar, because sugar, alcohol. Diba? Okay, things like that. And then the fatty acids also, because 3 plus 3 fatty acids ang nakakaloka. That's why lagi tayo triglycerides nagagan, because every day we eat fatty substances. Okay? In any form. It can be an oil used in cooking the fish, because the fats only the meat. It's in the oil. You get the point? So things like that. So muna siya. So most people around the world have issues of triglycerides most of the times rather than the others. Okay? Okay. Through this, there's also a chance of higher cholesterol. Kaya tinubdan man siya sa tanan. Okay, you get the point? That's why nako yung record of for above 400. But sa cholesterol, kung ano ba ya? 240 na yung high. Okay? Ang cholesterol, cholesterol less than 200. Borderline, 200 to 239. Then 240 up, okay? 240 up will be harmful and dangerous. Imagine that 240 is dangerous already, but in triglycerides 400, naku ka siya gap. So need to say, it's not too much with the triglycerides. Okay? Okay. Okay, since the value is very low, it would sound very dangerous. You get the point? Because, see, the level is only 200. And then you will never reach this 240, this is already low. Okay? Compared to 400 in triglycerides. Okay? That's why most of the cases, if you have higher cholesterol, the more you will get diseases first, rather than the triglycerides. Okay? Because of, see, the value is low. Okay? The more the value is low, the more you should take care a little more, rather than the higher. Because it's so high pa eh. You get the point? Things like that. For example, if you try to see our creatinine, if the level of creatinine to be maintained in our body is, let's say, 0.6 to 1.2 milligram per liter. Imagine 1.2 lang. Meaning to say, very dangerous. Because the level is very small. Right? Ikumpara ko sa cholesterol, 240. So if you have a very big creatinine, patay. Okay, because that's 1.2 only the level. It will reach also to 100, patay. So your kidney malfunction. Okay. Na bilirubin also. So bilirubin is grabe ang bilirubin, 0.2. Okay? Limit. Bilirubin is a bad protein. Then if too high, more than 0.2, then also your liver will be damaged. These are all can be obtained through blood sample and urine sample. Why? Because it's in the blood, will be filtered by our nephrons in our kidney. Okay, our kidney will do the blood and plasma filtration. and urine formation. So it's there that we can obtain this metabolic wastes in the urine and also in the bloodstream. It will go directly to the bloodstream, these proteins. Okay, you get the point? So, and then it's easy for the proteins to bind fats. Okay, because that's why it's called lipoprotein, a combination of lipid and a protein. Lipo is fat and protein plus protein. That's why lipoprotein. So lipoprotein is the cholesterol. Okay? Meaning to say, cholesterol is bonded with too much protein also and fats in combination. You get the point? Because of the name itself, lipoprotein. Else, there's no use why having that kind of name. So, mafifida. That's why it's called lipoprotein because it contains lipids, fats, and protein. So, it will carry, the cholesterol will carry this along with the vitamins, nutrients, minerals, like that into the bloodstream. Okay? Then, since if you have a very high bad protein, then it will be very slow in moving. Okay, things like, oh no, it's very fast moving because low density kasi. It's very fast moving, di ba? Okay, that's why the more it is fast moving, the more it will stick. And the more it is slow moving, there's a tendency that it would not create more. Okay? You get the point? Okay, kung ano ka siya, bugat, hinay ka siya mumukuan, proper ka siya mulakaw. Igat pa, okay mo? Mo, ito siya sa kuan. Whereas kung gaan kayo, nakiat kayo siya, asa siya pa doon. Sobrang niya kakiat, mudaghan, mag-deposit, low ra ba kay density. So, muna siya low density lipoprotein, ang bad protein, ang bad cholesterol, hindi siya ang high. Ang high density, mao ang good cholesterol. Okay? Ganun siya. Nakakalok. Okay. Na ang high density lipoprotein, padulong na siya sa liver. Okay. Now, kung dako imong high density lipoprotein or the cholesterol, it's good for the liver. So it can really detoxify the toxins, carcinogens. Whereas kung dako imong low LDL, it will go directly to the vascular system and the tissues and the cells. Then problem. You get the point? So there will be deposits later on. Okay, because it's going away from your liver. Just like riding in a car. Okay, destination, liver, destination, cells, vascular system, like that. Okay, transportation car ba? Okay, muna siya ang atong cholesterol. Okay, so, di ba importante kayo siya? Without car, we cannot reach our destination. So if we don't have cholesterol, then we will not be healthy because the nutrients, vitamins, minerals will not go directly to the specific vital organs in order for us to become healthy. So meaning, very, very, very important. But the problem is it's overdose, okay, beyond its capacity. So it will become also bad. Because the more it is too much, they cannot move. Bugat kayo ang cholesterol, di siya kadagan. You get the point, things like that nakakaloka. Though na man sa siya high density, tumudagan siya pagaling imong kuan, LDL, charis. So that's another topic sa the cholesterol attachment. Thank you so much. Bye-bye, God bless everybody. Our next topic will be cholesterol. I discussed a little bit with the cholesterol because it's so interested in the cholesterol, right? Thank you so much. I hope you share this video to anybody else. This is health science, biochemistry, and organic chemistry. Thank you so much for watching. Diva.